Oh, you were here last week?
You did?
Yeah, you were here last week.
Look, Janelle made it.
I made it. I have a bunch of stories trapped in my brain, and this is one of them. It's by a woman named Andrea Beaty, and it's called Slater Illustrator. At the end of the garden, in the soft fading light, when the day turns to dusk, thank you, and the dusk into night, the sweet scent of jasmine floats into the air to mix with the music of laughter. And there, Aaron D. Slater soaks it all in with his flowery blanket tucked under his chin. Words drift like music, melodious, mild. A sweet summer song for a sweet summer child who drifts off to sleep as the cottonwoods sway at the end of the garden, at the end of the day. It's summer and then summer and summer once more, and soon Aaron D. is a youngster of 4. The jasmine climbs higher, the roses have grown, and Aaron himself has a spot of his own for seedlings and saplings beside the slate walk, which he illustrates daily with his bucket of chalk. But what he loves most, what makes Aaron's heart sing, is to listen to stories in the old garden swing. To write books, he thinks, is the greatest of things. But first, he must read. It's the best place to start. And young Aaron wants to, with all of his heart. But the words are just squiggles, and try though he might, even with help, Aaron can't get it right. Why can't I do this? Why is it so hard? He goes back to drawing on slate in his yard. Well, it's school time at last, in his sunflower socks and his poppy red jacket with a matching lunchbox. He marches to class with the teacher's bouquet, ready to read by the end of the day. But he doesn't read that month, or he doesn't read that day, or that month, or that year. And though he makes progress, it's painfully clear he'll never quite get it like all of his friends, and since he'll never stand out, he decides to blend in. And so here he is at the start of grade 2 in his simple white t-shirt and matching white shoes. He tries to keep up, to blend in, and to hide the tangle of feelings he carries inside. And at first it goes well because his teacher is new and a bit overwhelmed by the hubbubaloo. But when things settle down and Miss Greer finds her stride, and once she got rolling, there was no place to hide. Class, she says, here's an assignment for you. Write me a story. Write something true. And so young Aaron does what Aaron must do. He works on his story like the rest of grade 2. He writes through the evening, he writes through the night. He writes and he writes till the dawn's early light. And then he drags off to school with his shoes filled with lead, and his stomach in knots, and a pain in his head. And he waits for his name to be called with his heart filled with dread. Miss Greer calls his name, and young Aaron stands and unfolds this sheet in his trembling hands. And he reads, well, he tries, but it's so hard to start with 34 eyes peering into your heart. So he stares at his shoes and his sunflower socks, and then he closes his eyes, and then young Aaron talks. Once there was a flower. Wait, no. What I know. Once there was a flower which gave all who held it extraordinary power. And so begins the most courageous of tales of an imperfect hero whose courage fails when the day turns to dusk and the dusk into night and the moon rises high and the dragons take flight. And who learns in the wee morning hours that strength comes from your heart and not magical flowers, that beauty and kindness and loving and art lend courage to all with a welcoming heart. And when the quest ends and that sweet flower dies, The students all gasp, and Miss Leela Greer cries. The silence that follows rattles his heart. He tries to say something, but where could he start? He hands in a sheet with no words at all, just a picture of a flower as he escapes to the hall, where Miss Leela found him by the slate-colored wall. Time stopped for them both, the teacher and boy, his heart filled with anguish, and hers filled with joy. At the soul of this artist, courageous and true, she smiles and whispers, "Aaron, thank you." And when she leaves, Aaron stands there a very long while, and slowly, so slowly, he begins to smile. And he feels like he does with those books in a swing, as a new hope inside starts to make his heart sing. He knows he can do the greatest of things in a way that's his own, in a way that's just his. He could stand up and show the whole world who he is. Like the mightiest flames that banish the dark, hope grows in the soul from the tiniest spark. And his reading gets better. Of course, it's still tough, but each day that they work, it's a little less rough. Like all imperfect heroes at the start of a quest, he must do what he can and hope for the best. Now, in the hallway, a new garden grows, with jasmine and poppies, a rambling rose. Books, art, and music, a dragon or two, who soar through a sky of a delphinium blue. His art tells a story, melodious, mild, furious, fragrant, wonderful, wild. It's all from the heart and all of it's true, for Aaron, Miss Greer, and the kids of grade 2. It's a place full of beauty, for one and for all, the Illustrator's Garden at the end of the hall.
Nice. Very.
Yay, Slater! You did it!
That was awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That's fun.
Another one.
What more